Josh Sparks has spent the first month of the season filming other team members and filling doe tags. As October comes to a close, it is finally his turn to hunt. On the morning of October 30th, Josh selects a small piece of public land where he sees his first chase of the year, a small buck hounding a doe.
That's pretty sweet, drinking that water.
While on stand, Josh's cameraman Mitch Worthington gets a call that a friend has shot a good buck in northern Missouri.
He was old. He's wide. He's real wide.
That's awesome, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
As the action dies, the hunters decide to climb down and check out the buck. The morning action and the recent success of a friend have Josh and Mitch fired up as they head back to the same large piece of public land where intern Max Weirda killed just 4 days earlier. During the recovery of Max's buck, they saw a huge 10-pointer. It is this buck that they are hoping to find. The plan is to set up downwind of a bedding area and hope for the best.
Well, here we are. It's about 2 o'clock, and we're running a little bit later than we'd like to. We're actually back to the same piece of public that Max shot his buck, and tonight our wind's very different than this morning. It's actually the opposite. We had a south wind this morning, and now we've got a north wind blowing in our face. Gonna do, the usual. We got 2 stand sticks, go set up, and really what our strategy right now is very simple. We're gonna take a very southern approach, kind of, because right now this wind's going back to where we want to hunt, and we're gonna make our way back, so the wind's gonna be in our face as we're trying to find sign to set up on. So it's that time of year, you never really know what could happen. If anything's in the area, we're gonna give some calling a go. I'm excited. I know we've got high expectations for tonight's sit, and we're gonna get going. Well, it's about 4 o'clock here, and Mitch and I have probably been set up for just about a half hour, an hour. It took us a lot longer to get in here than we were expecting. This was just harvested, as you can tell behind me, and right here, this is all standing beans. And then right where I'm pointing my finger right there on the screen, that is one of the biggest scrapes I've ever seen. Does that necessarily transfer over to us being able to shoot a buck? Not sure. What it tells me is that there is a lot of deer using this area. Basically what we decided to sit in is, and we'll show it to you in the pans, it's a point where 3 different funnels come together. Just a little tree line connecting the big blocks of timber. And hopefully it's a great night. It's starting to feel good. Cloud cover, pressure's rising, it's getting colder. So fingers crossed, something good happens tonight. Come on. Please. See him? Coming right out. He's right in that green. Looked like a pretty good buck. Oh boy. Hold on, I'm gonna give him one more grunt behind us. Cause he's looking for it. See him? Here he comes. You see him? See him? Are you on him? Okay. God, please follow the edge. Please follow the edge. Please follow the edge. We better hope it not wind us fine. He might wind us. He's scraping. You on him? Oh, come on, wind. Oh, he's gonna come right down this edge, dude. You on him? Okay. Man, dude, our wind's been swirling right there tonight. It's swirling right to him. Shoot. Just gotta hope it's strong enough. Oh, dude, he winded us. that sucks. Man, that sucks. It doesn't suck, and that's not the right word to say, but that plan literally almost just came together within 5 minutes after that interview. I told Mitch that we were gonna go ahead and rattle because this in front of us just looks like a sweet bedding ridge. I mean, it looks awesome. I saw him run down that ridge, and then I sent some grunts behind us, and he just took off right through those beans, and he got right to this point. And as I was watching him come in, I thought he was gonna come right around this edge, which I think we would have been fine on, but of course, he tried to get downwind of us, and hey, that is such a cool buck. There's nothing that replaces that feeling right there. I thought he was coming. I thought we had him. Dead to rights right there. I thought he was gonna come right down that line.
That same evening, 40 miles to the east, I head out for my afternoon hunt, a redneck blind overlooking a small food plot bordering what has historically been a great part of the farm. I don't have a specific buck in mind, hoping for a surprise. That was out the back window of the blind. It's a little bit trickier because the back window is really small, but she was feeding across behind the blind, and Quentin talked me into it, so hopefully we got it on camera. There's a little buck on the other end of this field, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this closed and we'll go back to hunting again. Buck. Yeah. He's bigger than I thought at first. Back on public land, Josh stays focused as deer continue to flow out into the beans.
The rain's starting now. Temps are really starting to fall and the wind's picked up. And we've got probably 45 minutes left. We've had every age class of buck step out since that first buck we rattled in. So with any luck at all, hopefully a lot of it, we will have another mature buck work his way into the field and do what those deer did, because our wind's doing what we wanted to do now. So. How's your lighting? Go down. Did he just crash? Did he? I don't know. Well, as you can see, we are not behind a buck right now. And basically just to kind of run you down how we got to where we're at. I picked up my arrow, got down on the tree, and right away I saw that there's good blood on this. You can tell in these, I just did a quick close up of this arrow. There's water droplets on it. It's because it's raining. You might be able to hear it behind me, but I mean, it was no more than 3 minutes after the shot. We were getting down, and right away I couldn't find a lot of blood. And so what Mitch and I did, walk to that tree line where we can see where he goes in on the video. It sounds like he crashes, and we didn't see him. Ultimately, with this rain, no blood, and we looked right where we think he should be. We're gonna decide to go right back in the morning. It's supposed to be raining all night. It's gonna be about 37 degrees, and we're gonna be right back there in the morning. And just really hope that he's right there somewhere. But looking forward to daylight, that's for sure. I don't really know which best way to get over there. So when we hit him, let me see, you can see a white belly. So he runs in right there. This dark spot, he was 2 yards, 3 yards back. So we just came to that spot that I was telling you guys. We could see exactly where he went in. The reference point we're using, there's a big dark scrape right behind us, and we saw it was like 3 yards this way. Sure enough, I can see blood.
I see his body right there. He's dead right there, dude.
Oh my
Right
God!
there! Right there! I hear him crash. You heard him crash, brother. Oh, yes. Oh, my. Dude, I'm looking at him.
The emotion says it all. I mean, we are 3 yards off the field edge, and Mitch just starts freaking out. He's like, he's right there. And he's literally right here. So I cannot think of a better way to get into November. It's Halloween right now. Mitch's birthday was yesterday, and tomorrow is November 1st. So who knows where we're gonna be, but I know there's a lot of tags left to fill, and it's bringing on the greatest month of the year and something that we look forward to and what we live for. So great way to end this hunt, and can't wait to see what the next month brings.
As Josh celebrates his great public land kill, Jared Mills prepares to hunt his river farm for the first time this year. After being covered with 3 feet of water for several weeks, the second major flood of the year, dry ground begins to appear. It will be interesting to see how many deer have returned to the farm.
Alright, it's Halloween, and Brad and I are set up for the afternoon hunt. We're set up in a pretty cool spot on Mike and I's farm. Can see a lot. We got some ag fields a couple hundred yards away that aren't picked yet. We have our beans to the right of us that are they're flooded, but I think the deer are still eating them. But mainly just see a lot. Hopefully can learn something tonight. Brad and I got out for a quick hunt last night, and we were hunting really close to some freshly cut corn, and the farmers had just got out of there, and they ended up coming back and forth all night long, so kind of messed that hunt up a little bit. But we did see a 3-year-old chasing some does, and the best part was the snort wheeze. It was really calm and quiet, so you could hear it really loud and clear. And then this morning we also got out for a hunt back in the timber back here, and saw 4 cruising bucks. They're just really fleeting glimpses, and we weren't able to get much footage of them, so we moved out away from the timber for the afternoon hunt, and checked a couple cameras midday, and Mike checked some while he was here yesterday too. And one thing that's pretty interesting is we finally have a good buck that we recognize from last year. Well, somewhat recognize. We can't fully decide on which deer it is. We had probably the 2 best bucks we were most looking forward to seeing back. This deer looks like could be either one of them. One is Merino, the deer we passed on our first night of hunting here, just about 100 yards away from where I'm at. And the other one is JJ, who we had a lot of encounters with. This buck this year looks like a combination of the two, and I need to go home and study images from last year to find out for sure. Like I said, I kind of think it's Merino. Mike kind of thinks it's JJ. There's characteristics of both. Either way, it's a good looking buck, and he looks to be 5.5, so or older. So we're somewhat targeting him tonight. The pictures weren't too far away from here, so hopefully we can lay eyes on him. And I'm really looking forward to finding out which buck it actually is. So we'll see how the evening goes. It's super calm, and we're in a tree with hardly any cover, so we're gonna get quiet and get settled in.
Man, this is a weird movement. I didn't expect that. Hey, what? Smelling us. That's that little one that we saw earlier.
Over the years, Halloween has proven to be one of the best days of the season. I almost put it in the same league as November 7th, my favorite day to hunt. Back in 2009, I was hunting a huge-bodied 8-pointer I called the Grade 8. With all the patience I could muster, I waited until Halloween to hunt him. It was the first time in, and the wind was perfect. It's October 31st. We're hunting a legendary stand this morning. This is the spot where Mike Sawyer shot stickers last year, and we're hunting another legendary deer. In this area, there's a buck that we call the Grade 8. This is our best chance for getting him for a while, it looks like, with the wind direction. All we can do now is wait. I just glassed the field, there's nothing out there yet. Hopefully he'll come by this morning. I like that buck. We'll let him get down in there and see what they end up doing.
Is it a big deer behind you though?
I don't see anything behind us.
He's right to the left of the tree. Big tree.
Yeah, I think it's him. I think it's him. Boy, he's a toad. He's hit. Get to the right of it. See him?
Yep, nice. I got him faintly. Unfortunately, the Grade 8 was one of the early teachers in a lesson I have learned all too well over the years.
Sometimes bucks drop as much as a foot after hearing the bow fire in an effort to load up their legs to bolt. Called string jumping, the great 8 dropped right out from under the arrow, resulting in a glancing blow. Though I hunted him often, I never saw him again all season. Hoping for similar Halloween magic, I head to one of my most productive stands. Happy Halloween! This is the traditional start of the best hunting of the season. Some people think that Halloween is actually one of the best days of the season for killing big deer. And Josh, one of our employees in the office, killed a nice buck on public land, so maybe they're right. For my hunt this evening, I was planning to hunt the Big 7 up closer to the house, but in the spot that I wanted to hunt up there, I couldn't have that much north wind in it. So we're gonna come back to the open gate. This is the spot where I shot those 4 does. Must have been a little bit more than a week ago now. Just seems like on still days, we never do as well as what we do on days with a little bit of wind. But heck, all we gotta do is half as well as we did last time we were in here, and we'll be dragging some deer. That's the plan. I'll take does again, and hopefully, something pops out on the other end of that little food plot and works its way toward us. It's got some good set of antlers on his head. Sit down so I can shoot that way. Take it dump right in your head. It's a lot of nerve. If he turns off, there's 2 of them. Those are big dogs. If they turn off, I'll call to them. He came right out of that bedding area. That's not good. That? A dog. 2 of them. 3 of them. 3 of them. You filming those dogs? Film the dogs. They ran right into the spot where I expected the deer to come out of. That's a huge bedding area back there. So first the coyotes came through there, then the dogs came along and ran the coyotes back in there again. Here comes another dog. I mean, I'd say we got about 0 chance of something coming from that direction tonight. That's not to say that they can't come from someplace else, but that's normally where they come from, back there on the end. That's a little buck, isn't it? It's a little buck. It is. He got spooked from something. My evening ended with a grand total of 2 coyotes, 3 roaming house dogs, and a spooked 1.5-year-old buck. Not exactly what I had in mind for what should have been one of the better days of the season. 300 miles to the northeast, in northern Wisconsin, Kasey Vergin also heads out for a late October bow hunt.
We're really excited. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. The trail cameras have shown that it's been pretty hot lately, with deer in general, but also with some daytime buck movement. Within the last couple of days, we've had come right by this blind, so we're thinking with a little bit of a break in the weather and the cooler temperatures, we should have a pretty good hunt tonight. He's a 2-year-old for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And there he is, right where we last saw him. It's just beautiful out to be doing this kind of stuff with. But yeah, we're pretty excited. I'm pretty excited.
Among deer hunters, today is a national holiday, November's Eve. Tomorrow starts the grand month, the one we have waited 235 days for. We mentally organize all the options. This stand is best in the mornings when the bucks are chasing. Another has a long tradition of being a great all-day funnel. Others work better in the evenings. We rank them in our minds, laying out the plan. Rather than dreaming about bygone hunts from these legendary stands, tomorrow we start hunting them. Because tomorrow we will finally be chasing November.